Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
To be another night of record cold temperatures across central and eastern Kentucky. We'll track the tumbling numbers straight ahead.
A driver lost control on I-64, sending his semi and the cattle he was hauling rolling off the interstate.
And as the temperatures keep going down, heating bills keep going up. We talked to experts on how to manage the higher costs. WKYT News at 4:30 starts now.
Good afternoon to you. Amber Philpott and Sam Dick reporting we are feeling an Arctic blast and the temperatures are dangerous out there.
Well, in fact, we tied a low record, Chris was telling us. Let's take a look at that. 12 degrees. It broke a record cold high today. So when will the warmer air move back in? Let's talk with our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey. Chris, what's going on out there with these record lows?
Yeah, we've got the record lows, the record cold highs, and the potential for yet another record lows. Say it with me, coming up a little later on tonight. Basically, it's a pattern that we've been advertising for a long while, and it is with us. The coldest November day in nearly 40 years. Right now in Lexington, here we are out front with snow still on the ground, and that is very hard to do in the month of November, to keep snow on the ground for more than, in many cases, just a few hours, but especially over the course of a couple of days when you have sunshine. But normally in November, you don't have a high of 22 degrees, which is where we have been for the afternoon today. Wind chill is at 10. Can we set another record later tonight? It is a very strong possibility. We'll see temperatures tomorrow morning down into the low teens. That record, by the way, tomorrow morning is 14. I'm forecasting right around 13 degrees here in Lexington. Now, that is dependent on a little bit of cloud cover is screaming in late in the night as opposed to a little earlier. It gets in a little earlier, we may come in 14, 15, 16. Stay clear most of the night. We'll be closer to 10 degrees. You get the idea of what we're talking about. Gusty winds giving us a wind chill down to 10 for Lexington and Frankfort. Live first alert defender with nothing that is going on across central and eastern Kentucky. Weather headlines on what else? The Arctic air that continues for a few more days. I do see a warm-up, a brief warm-up that comes for the weekend as we track some wet changes on into central and eastern Kentucky. And by the time we get into Thanksgiving week, guys, we're going to try to turn it cold again. A very busy forecast period rolls on, and we'll break down the numbers for you when I come back with the hour-by-hour forecast just ahead.
All right, thank you, Chris. Too busy of a forecast. Well, as those temperatures keep falling, the cost of your utility bill is heating up.
And there are some things that you can do to try and lessen the blow every month during the winter. Rebecca Smith reports on getting back control of your heating bills. It's our top story at 4:30.
So a lot of us have the holidays in mind, and of course associated with that is all the shopping that you do before December, right after Thanksgiving. So if you're looking at ways to really be able to cut down on the cost of heating your home, and you don't want to have to wear, say, your gloves and your big heavy winter coat indoors, we got some tips from the budgeting experts here at Columbia Gas on how to do that.
Rather than manually adjusting the temperature of your home, a programmable thermostat can help save up to 12% on your Kentucky utilities bill each month. According to KU, one of the best ways to save money on energy use is to turn the thermostat down by about 2 degrees from where you normally set it. That could save you about $45 a year. Another useful thing you can do, sign up for a budget payment plan. Columbia Gas offers one year-round.
The budget payment plan is available to anybody, so it's a great way to just even out and give you a steady payment throughout the year instead of wondering, wow, it's really cold in January, I wonder how high my bill is going to be.
If you do opt for the subsidy from LIHEAP, the deadline to apply is fast approaching December 11th.
Weatherization is another big component when it comes to cutting down on the cost of your heating bills. Columbia Gas actually offers a free home energy checkup. We have information on our website if you're interested in that, WKYT.com. In Lexington, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
And furnace maintenance could save you money on your heating bill. Columbia Gas offers free furnace replacements to low-income homeowners through a partnership with the Community Action Kentucky.
WKYT has learned Lexington's latest homicide victim was a convicted murderer. Walter Gray died Sunday after police say he was shot several times on Warnock Street in Lexington's East End. The Herald-Lear reports Gray was sentenced to 45 years for a deadly Lexington shooting. He was found guilty in the 2003 murder of Andrea Tiller. The report does not say when Gray was released from prison. Police say they have no leads in his homicide. A major tenant is pulling out of Lexington's Center Point project. The Herald Leader reports that Stantec, an engineering firm, says it will not be a part of the downtown development because the project will not be finished next spring as expected. It's another setback for developer Dudley Webb. He and the city are working out a timetable for bringing a giant crane into downtown Lexington. Right now, the plan is sometime during the second week of December. Main Street will have to be closed for about 42 hours while that massive crane needed for the underground parking garage is set up. Interstate 64 has reopened this afternoon following a crash involving a cattle truck.
It happened around 5:30 this morning in the westbound lanes near Frankfort. The interstate was closed between exits 48 and 53, tying up traffic for hours. Several cows got loose after that crash, causing even more accidents. WKYT's Victor Puente reports now from Franklin County.
It took crews more than 6 hours to upright that trailer after the driver lost control, sending his semi and more than 100 cows flipping into the median. It was around 5:30 this morning when the driver, hauling feeder cattle from Virginia to Kansas, went off the westbound lane of I-64. Police say despite the snow, weather didn't cause this crash.
The driver fell asleep, ran off the roadway, and rolled on an embankment.
The driver and his passenger were okay, but most of the 110 cattle were trapped in that trailer, minus the few who were roaming the interstate.
And we had to shut down the interstate to keep people from hitting them.
But 3 cows were still struck by vehicles. Melton says 2 of the drivers were trying to shortcut the mess.
They hopped the median and went back the opposite direction, which, you know, they were shut down for a reason.
After loading the live cattle onto other trailers, firefighters and farmers began removing the ones that didn't survive. 26 died in that crash. They all had to be removed before that trailer could be pulled upright and hauled away.
Trying to keep the guys warm and dry and you know, chasing cattle. We've had a cattle chase a fireman up side of a hill. He charged one of the firefighters out there trying to corral him. So we've had a busy morning.
Melton tells me they had several veterinarians here at the scene, some from the state agricultural department and some local. He says they were even able to save one of those cows that was hit by a car. In Franklin County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Westbound I-64 was backed up for several miles. That traffic stretched all the way into Woodford County. The New Orleans Saints fan who snatched a game ball away from a Bengals fan with Kentucky ties during the game on Sunday is now speaking out.
70-year-old Tony Williams says he did not intend to hurt Krista Barrett, who's from Versailles and now lives in New Orleans. His motivation, he says, was to keep the football for his grandchild and that he did not realize the ball was intended for anyone specific. Williams, who is a former Zulu king, is used to handing out prize coconuts to crowds only to have them intercepted. He says that is the New Orleans way, with one exception.
If that would have been a child, I would have gladly given the football to the child. I didn't want to upset no one because I love this city, and I would just say, and I love the Saints.
Well, tight end Jermaine Gresham of the Cincinnati Bengals, who caught the touchdown pass for the Bengals, autographed a ball for Barrett and sent it to her yesterday.
Ocean's top predators might be a meteorologist's best friend when it comes to storm predictions.
Bagad Shaban went shark tagging off the coast of Miami to get the scoop.
Scientists are hoping sharks will one day help them more accurately predict the strength of tropical storms and hurricanes. The Marine Conservation Program at the University of Miami tags about 300 sharks a year to study their movements. But researchers now want to use more advanced tags so sharks can collect weather data.
These animals actually then become, environmental sensors. Guys, we got a big nurse shark.
Neil Hammerschlag runs the program and invited us to join him and his team about 3.5 miles off the Miami coast.
What makes sharks such good storm chasers?
Well, the great thing about these sharks is that they don't really know boundaries here in the ocean. So they go out, do their thing, and they collect data while they're swimming around.
Certain sharks, like tiger sharks, can swim long distances, up to 30 miles a day, and dive to hard-to-reach depths of more than 2,000 feet. Hammerschlag says sharks also gravitate to rapid temperature changes, where storms often intensify. Meteorologist Nick Shea believes sharks could improve storm forecasts up to 20%.
Not only are they swimming in those areas, they're also providing data at a high data rate that give you more information than you currently have with just satellites.
Scientists still need to secure funding, but hope to have about a dozen weather sensors swimming with the sharks over the next few months. Begad Shaban, CBS News, Miami.
And while scientists can already use deep water probes to collect weather data during storms, the price tag for the equipment and the several-hour plane ride to drop several of the devices into the ocean can run close to $100,000.
We are shooting out hunger today for God's Pantry Food Bank. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at the S&D Indoor Range.
It is a special event happening this weekend in Lexington aimed at feeding the hungry.
It's time to take aim and shoot out hunger. Deanne Stevens is out and about at S&D Indoor Range with more. Hey, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon. Be very scared, please. Let's get the safety on there. Be very frightened. What'd you think, David?
Was that good?
Was that okay? We are here at S&D Indoor Range. I'll take these off so I can see you a little better. You guys have a great event coming up this weekend, Shoot Out for Hunger, and that's pretty much all you got to do. You pay your $20 to come and be a part of the event. Tell us about it.
Yeah, you pay $20, come in and shoot. If you don't have a gun, we have rental guns. It's $10 for a rental gun. But you just come in and shoot, and you know, everything goes to God's Pantry. We're just trying to raise money for a good cause.
Yeah, it is for a great cause, and it's also a great opportunity for folks to come who maybe don't take the time to do this. You guys give any lessons while you're here? I know you were like, Deanne, make sure you have the safety on.
Yeah, we've got range safety officers in here, and they're all qualified to instruct and help anybody out that needs it.
10 and older can participate in this as long as you have an adult with you. 21 and older can win this. Tell folks what they're looking at.
Yeah, that's Springfield XDS 4.0. It's a 9mm. It comes with a holster, 2 magazines, and a magazine holster. And it's with the raffle ticket, come in, win the gun.
Like, so people can just, by participating in this, their name automatically goes in that raffle?
Yes. When you pay to shoot, you get a raffle ticket with your purchase, and you know, at the end of the day, we're gonna have a drawing, and hopefully you win.
Okay, so how do folks get more information?
Just come in and
they can show up, right? They can just show up?
Or go to our website, sndindoorrange.com, or godspantry.org, and all the information's on there.
And the event is this coming Saturday, and I can tell you this, let's see, up or down on the safety, David?
Up.
All right, got it off. I am ready to shoot out hunger. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at the S&D Indoor Range located in Brandon Crossing. Be a part of it this Saturday. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Deanne. I'd be well behind her.
Yeah, get out of her way.
Shooting with a gun. A CBS celebrity lights up the holiday season in New York. The star of Interstellar gets his own star on Earth, and the Imitation Game gets ready for its U.S. opening.
Suzanne Marquez has your eye on entertainment.
Benedict Cumberbatch and Keira Knightley walk the red carpet in New York City for the U.S. premiere of their new film, The Imitation Game.
What is it that we're really doing?
We're going to break an unbreakable Nazi code and win the war.
Cumberbatch is generating a lot of Oscar buzz for his portrayal of Alan Turing, the British codebreaker who helped the Allies win World War II.
People sort of ask, what was the biggest challenge? None of it. I mean, you know, only to do him justice.
The Imitation Game opens in limited release on November 28th. The stars of the latest Hunger Games movie continued their media blitz with the Los Angeles premiere of Mockingjay Part 1. Mockingjay is aiming to be one of the highest-grossing movies of the year. The first 2 installments of the film earned more than $400 million each at the U.S. box office. You're alive. Katniss, Peeta, and the rest of the crew hit the big screen this Friday. Matthew McConaughey was honored Monday with his very own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The Oscar winner is currently starring in the sci-fi thriller Interstellar. And Téa Leoni helped usher in the Christmas season by lighting the UNICEF snowflake at Bergdorf Goodman. Leoni, who is the star of CBS drama Madam Secretary, is also a UNICEF ambassador.
This is my first time lighting the snowflake. I've definitely been looking forward to this.
The luxury retailer also unveiled its holiday window display at the event. That's your eye on entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A lucky fan could soon own a part of a former Major League player. Find out what Jose Canseco is selling. You know, I know we are talking about some dangerous cold temperatures out there, but the sun sure helped today to make it a little more bearable.
It did, and if you don't put the wind in there, Chris, that helps too.
Yeah.
Can you work that out for us, sun and no wind?
Boy, I tell you what, if I could alter the wind, I would be a gazillionaire right now. But we are talking about temperatures that are still into the low 20s into most areas as of now. And we've got the snow on the ground still in Lexington, in Georgetown, and in Frankfort. All three locales checking in at 22 degrees, 25 showing up into Richmond, where you have no snow or very little snow that is on the ground. A lot of that hitting the areas we thought it would hit. Lexington Metro points to the north and northwest over the past couple of days. Live First Alert Defender yesterday, snow showers and squalls. Not so much this afternoon, just a little bit of cloud cover left over into southeastern Kentucky. Some more clouds that are drifting in from the north, and it's those clouds that will at least give us the shot of keeping temperatures a little above where we were this morning. That doesn't mean it's going to be mild by any stretch of the imagination. We'll talk about the possibility of another record low coming up here in just a bit.
Banner 1 and I-75 on the exit ramp from I-75 south, for I-75 south to Banner 1. There appears to be a two-car non-entry crash there. It is over to the right. Now, Banner 1 itself is slow approaching Richmond Road that is toward Hamburg. And the circle is slowing down now. From Leestown Road over to Old Frankfort, stop and go traffic in the right lane. Now back to the studio.
To become a WKYT Live driver and download the Waze app, go to WKYT.com. Under the News tab, click on Traffic for more information. A baby giraffe, a famous criminal, gets ready to tie the knot, and a finger to be auctioned off on eBay. It is the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
A baby giraffe gets his first look at the outside world at the Santa Barbara Zoo in California. A 4-day-old giraffe ventured outside for the first time yesterday. His name is Buttercup. The little guy isn't all that little compared to people visiting the zoo. On Friday, a day after he was born, he was already 6'8" and 186 pounds. Buttercup's mother, 6-year-old Audrey, gave birth to him on Thursday.
After nearly 40 years in prison, a convicted serial killer is getting married. The Associated Press reports that Charles Manson has received a marriage license. The 80-year-old plans to marry a 26-year-old woman who goes by the name Star. She has spent nearly a decade trying to exonerate Manson and says she has a really good reason for wanting to marry him.
Because I love him, and I've got half a brain that I can see that he is the one that knows what's going on.
Manson was convicted of killing seven people back in the early 1970s.
A former major league slugger who was recently in Lexington is making headlines after losing a finger. Jose Canseco has a strange idea. He shot off his middle finger last month while cleaning a gun. Well, now he says he plans to sell his finger on eBay. Losing a finger hasn't slowed down Canseco on Twitter. He says his eBay will read, "Slightly used middle finger with 462 home runs could be used as a stirring straw for drinks." Canseco is also selling the custom .45 caliber Remington that shot off his finger. It's worth noting that eBay has a policy banning the sale of body parts. But the crazy world we live in, somebody out there, Amber, probably will want both those items.
It is not on my Christmas wish list, I can tell you. Oh, absolutely. Oh, my. On that note, please stick with us. Here's what we're working on for you now at 5 o'clock.